Hey guys, James here today, and welcome to a breakdown look at The Sims 3 Into the Future trailer. This was just officially announced the other day, even though we knew about it already from way back at the beginning of the year when they announced the lineup that was coming. So basically, we're just going to pause it here. We're going to head on back and have a look at some of the things that you don't really see on just watching it through. So obviously right here, you can see where my mouse is. It's a bit dodgy. I might just move that out of the way. That is obviously what they use to get to the future and back again. So it's like a little time portal of some sorts. So we can go ahead forward here. And then if we just back up here real quick, right here is where you get a nice sort of like perspective of the town as a whole, and you can kind of get a feel for it right now. So obviously you can tell it's white, it's very clean. It's also looking very green, and they said in the live broadcast that it was built like in an industrial wasteland. So it's like they're trying to make the place nice again, make the world nice. That's kind of what the future we're in. Well, at least it looks like it's nice white. It's nice and clean, like blues, whites, and there's a lot of chrome as well. You got this guy standing up here on the balcony on the left. And so obviously, yeah, we pan down here and you can see the road, which I don't really know why they need roads, because where we're going, we don't need roads. Sorry, that was just a Back to the Future quote. So here she comes out here. In the background, you can see the woman there in the yellow. She's got a couple of new clothes on. The guy in the background still got a mohawk, so mohawks are still a thing in the future. That's interesting to note. So we'll just play it again here and go to the next scene. So there you go, step into the future. That's obviously the first part. And here we go. That's our first glimpse at a hover car right here coming up on the right. And if you look over on the left, there's a guy coming in on a hoverboard as well. So that is really cool. And also just where the hoverboard guy is, see right behind him there, there's like, it's like a window, and then in it is like a kind of interesting statue that I haven't seen before. So that's kind of, I just thought that was kind of cool. It looked cool anyways, in my opinion. And you can see like new dining tables and chairs. And you can also see the Simbot there just on the right next to the car. We'll obviously get a way better look at them later. So we'll just head forward to the next scene. So here you go. Here's the Simbot here. Very shiny. And very, very cool, I think. And you can see all those sort of big billboards and posters that are changing and animated. And here we get a nice close-up look of the hoverboard as well as he comes around the corner. So you can see him just floating around. He's struggling to stay on there. And in the background there, the big building in the center, it looks like probably the stadium, I would say, definitely. And there's also, in the very back, back here, sorry, I'll just do it with my mouse so you can see. Back there, looks like a wind farm of sorts, kind of like the ones you see in SimCity with the vertical fan rotators that you have to research. So I think that's what that is. Over here is the old woman in her yellow clothing again. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but it does look like the same sim. But we'll just head on forward now. And here we go. We got jetpacks. That is really cool. That is really cool. I was looking in this scene just to see if there's anything out of the ordinary, because often if you look closely, you'll see some cool things. But it appeared to just be a jetpack flying up into the sky. Oh, actually, right back here. This is what I did want to know, but you see him a bit better later. Right there, on the left here, all of this is actually flooring. It's all glass. You know, they recently released that set that had those big glass windows and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like we're going to be getting some glass flooring that we can use, which is really cool. So you can see it there for the first time. We do see it a bit better later with Sims walking over it. And right here, this scene is really nice. Before we continue playing, you can obviously see all of the buildings. All these fancy buildings here are obviously all rabbit holes, but I think they look really good. They're all white, all clean, and they really fit well together. And I think it's quite a nice look that it has. It has a really good contrast between the greens and the whites. And you can see here Sims here flying around in their jetpack. And this appears to be a game of sorts, probably like it might be a new PC or some other sort of gaming mechanism, but there's a whole ton of new things like that we won't really know until we get into the game ourselves. And here we can see them building a new house. And again, I looked at this a bit closely, and you can see they've put like, I have no way to tell if like the green flooring around the pool is actually a usable sort of landscaping floor. Like, I mean, like you could put plants on it without using a cheat. I don't know if that's how it works, or if it literally is just a green flooring and it looks like grass. But you can see here on the side of the pool as well, they got this like nice sort of edging. I guess that's probably like a new decorative item, or possibly even it could be a foundation. I don't know, probably not. Probably just some sort of decorative item that they've used there. And stepping forward, there's not too much to see. You can see a few new windows here and there. You got a new bed there in the bedroom. There's not too much, but down the bottom right there, you can see them putting in a couple cars. There's also a hover bike just there. We do see one of those later on in the trailer. Obviously, we have a nice view of the town from a different angle. So where we were before, we were down over this way, off the screen this way, and now we're looking at it from a different angle. I guess there's some sort of shed up there. Anyways, we'll move forward a bit. You can see the house unfolding here. And that right there in the center, which we'll get a better look at soon, is what you use to create simbots. And we get a pretty nice look at that in a bit. And yeah, sorry, well, they're not simbot. They're actually called plumbots, I believe, is the correct term. I apologize. So we move forward here and we got the house and all the Sims enjoying it right there. And this scene here was pretty cool. I don't know how this is going to work because obviously this is the house in the current day. This looks to be Pleasant View. Not Pleasant. What am I saying? Sorry, I'm all out of it. Sunset Valley. This looks to be Sunset Valley with like the dome in the background and the town hall. It might be a different town. I'm not sure. But anyways, so you can see move forward. It goes like this. Now, I don't know how this will work if the game does this itself when you go into the future, or this is just what they decided to do to show it off. I would probably say it's probably just a show off kind of feature and not actually what happens. But I don't really know. So obviously there's another hover bike there parked there. They got a lot of circle windows that they're using everywhere, you will notice. And there's that glass sort of flooring up the top. And that's a new fence that they use all over the place too. And that appears to be a gutter here on the side of the house and over there. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know what that will be for, if it's just decorative or what. But we can continue to move forward here. And this is where they do their little room animations where they always say it does not represent actual gameplay. It would be cool if it did though. What I found really interesting in this scene was that back wall behind the bed. You can see it moving slightly. So it appears to be sort of a configurable wallpaper of sort of like a hologram or something like that. Maybe you can set it to different scenes, which would be really cool because you can see it moving. And obviously where the Sim's coming up on the right, I would assume that's some sort of like a staircase item so you can go up and down levels. So they're falling out of it. She's not very good at it. She didn't know how to use it. That's just a bookcase that she's using now. Some sort of bookcase. I don't know. And here on the wall, she's got a pretty cool TV that shows the weather and all that kind of stuff as well. A holographic TV, new kitchenwares, and this right here, I believe, is the Plumbot machine right here. So she's creating a Plumbot, and we'll slow down here because there's a lot to see here. They speed through it really quick, so you can't see it that well. And this is incredible. You can customize them so much. So this is obviously just starting off, and then they start changing the Plumbot right away. So there you go. There's a completely different style. You'll see, obviously on the left here, you got basics, head, body, arms, and legs, and you can change like everything and all the colors and everything. Like look at the complete differences between all of these. Just seeing this now is amazing. But I honestly, there's a lot. There's a lot more than I thought there would be. Oh, we've messed up. Sorry, I've messed that one up. Let me just get back to that. That's my bad. All right, so yeah, here we were. We'll move forward here. So here you can see all the parts here on the left, sorry. And there's a lot of stuff to choose from. I'm just gonna go through it a bit slower so you can kind of see it. And then obviously they can change the colors here, all on there. And then he comes out of his little somewhat egg machine there. And you can see obviously that Plumbot there is hovering, so you can get hover Plumbots and all of that kind of stuff. Other than that, I don't think there's that much in that scene there. Here we get quite a bit happening on. We got all the new kitchen stuff, new dining table, new chairs. We've got the Plumbots in the background, holographic TV in the middle of the room, new stairs in the background by the looks of it, a new sofa. We've got those like up here as well. This is kind of cool, like a little hanging plant off the roof. We've got that sort of stairway type thing. Well, obviously not a stairway, but I would assume a level transporter. I don't know. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on there, and that looks like to be a holographic plant there, which is kind of interesting considering they have all real ones there and just one. There's a couple holographic plants there by the looks of it too, which I thought was kind of interesting. And you can see that they have a real interest in greenery and plants in the future. Definitely, they're trying to bring it all back. And here you go. Here is the hover bike in action, along with a couple of the cars. There are a ton of hover cars, by the way. If you had a look throughout the trailer, and I think we see a couple more. But here we go. Here we got like an overview of the town. And it appears, if we just go back to about just before it went all messed up, it appears that the town has a lot of water going on it, like it's been flooded or something like that. There's a ton of water everywhere. And you can see how the town is sort of all put together. So over here, we got the wind farm that we saw before. The three main buildings. Obviously, this one in the center is probably like the town hall or something like that. Stadium over there, maybe. You got the houses along the water, and then you got obviously all the houses around the outside. But I think this town looks really, really interesting. It's definitely different to what we've seen before. So I think that's pretty cool. So here she comes down on her jetpack. In this scene is a very colorful little place. I guess this is just like a community lot, like a park, or I'm not really sure. Not really a park, but you know what I mean. Now this was really interesting. This is what I found interesting. If we just play this, so you got this thing flying off there, off the screen, and I just thought that was really cool. Like, obviously it's probably just a transport around town. If you actually get to see it going around town, that could be really cool. But I thought that was, I don't know. I guess we don't really know what that is. Obviously, it's some sort of transportation. But how it works, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Down the bottom, we got a bunch of more cars down there. You can see there's like a ute type of car, which I thought was really cool. And you got that glass fence all on this house that you see everywhere. Oh, and actually, I didn't notice that before, but see that background in there with the palm trees? That, I guess, is the same one that we saw in the bedroom before that had the mountains. So that's probably a different setting of it right there. There's a little house up in the mountains as well. I thought that's kind of cool. So there's all these little details that you kind of miss if you just watch a trailer. So we go ahead here. This is like obviously a big laboratory that has all of the futuristic things here. That's the Plumbot machine. I guess these are probably like recharges or like beds for Plumbots. Background, that looks like another one of those big walls possibly that you can change the scene of. And here you go. Oh, this is what they talked about in the live broadcast. I can't remember the actual name, but this whole laser thing here is actually like an instrument, and the Sims can learn it like an instrument. So it's another skill that they can learn how to play to make some really cool songs. So there she goes there. And here we go. Here's the glass flooring that we saw earlier on, where your Sims can sort of walk over it and go all over the place, which I think is really cool. We finally got a proper glass flooring in the game that is going to work very nicely. And we're coming up to the few final scenes now. We got a couple cars going along here. Nothing too special going on there. Oh, actually, I guess I should just note that this building here is going to be the science and medical, I would assume, because it's got like the little science / medical symbol on it right there. So I assume that's what that is. If we move forward here now, at somewhat of a party on the rooftop with a Plumbot. This guy, God only knows what he's up to, but you can see they're definitely in Sunset Valley. At least it definitely looks like Sunset Valley because everything's in the same sort of location. And he appears to be magnetized. This appears to be present day, obviously. And he's got a asteroid that he's magnetized down. And now all of a sudden he's in the future. So he's impacted the future. So if this suggests that something we do in present day could impact what happens in the future world, that's really cool, I think. They did say in the live broadcast that if you have a family, in the future, you could even meet your descendants, which I thought was really cool. I wonder how that's going to work. You could create like paradoxes, and couldn't you kill your Sims while you're in the future? I don't know. So many unanswered questions to find out. But that is the final scene there of the Into the Future trailer. Sorry if this dragged on a little too long. Hope it wasn't too boring for you guys. But that was my breakdown look at the Sims 3 Into the Future trailer, which will be releasing in... Oh god, I should have checked the release date. If we go forward, we'll see it. Does it tell me the release date? That would be very nice. Come on. Nope. I'm just waiting for... It's like October something, I'm fairly sure. Play with life, yes. I just want to... it doesn't tell me. Okay. Well, I believe it's October sometime. I'll put the release date in the description below. But guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.